Because none of this really matters.
Really matters.
Because none of this
Really matters.
What is going on, you guys?
Really matters.
We're here with another episode of None of This Really Matters, episode 61.
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw Top Gun Maverick. We saw it. Is that one rolling? That second one?
Yeah.
Camera 2?
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that one is. But
Okay. That we're good.
the continuous of you guys, I'm more worried about.
So we saw this is the David Cronenberg episode. I spent a week in the hellish mind state. Like I was in the dumps of watching nothing but Cronenberg movies. I would wake up feeling anxious. I'd be like, Tatiana, what's wrong?
Are you mad at me?
And then I saw Top Gun Maverick this morning. A change of scenery.
Literally.
And I'm it was
Everybody was speechless at
so
multiple
good. Wait,
moments.
is this Patreon? Or this is the episode.
This is the episode.
Are we gonna do a Patreon? Or this is gonna be we're gonna talk about Top Gun Maverick right here.
Let's just talk about. I think most people aren't gonna watch that. Our audience is pretty.
They suck.
I think they're just real niggas. If that makes any sense as to why they
like just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, they just not gonna. Yeah. We just fuck with real niggas. That's all. We understand.
Real recognize real.
Should we had
So meant to go.
But I mean, how can you really ruin a Top Gun movie? You pretty much.
Yeah, this is Top Gun 2 we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is just Top Gun 2. They were like, let's do the same movie,
Yeah.
but just better this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way better.
It was definitely better than the first
Way
one.
better.
Like,
Leaps and bounds.
yes.
We
They
talked
actually
about
had good
that.
actors.
Yeah, we talked about
Men
that
to go.
afterwards. I mean, again, Tom Cruise, national treasure.
National treasure. I
Fucking saving the world.
once again, and can we get this out the way? That was obviously Russia, right? Like they didn't say anything.
I feel like it was the most. I told him, man, I feel like that was the most. You could have made that any red and yellow country you don't like.
Deadass.
No,
No,
you could have
that's
made that Iran. You could have made that China.
Germany.
Because that's usually our missions in those types of places. We don't want you building nuclear facilities, so let's go blow it up. I told my mom, I was like, that's the most genius thing they ever did.
I
I
was
was like, right now, that probably could. That movie was so good, you could have started World War III.
I wanted-
Yeah.
I wanted to stand up in front of everybody in the theater and be like, is that not obviously Russia? Like,
Yeah. And 80% was like over 40 years old in the
yeah,
theater.
absolutely.
I wanted them.
And
Like,
then
they came
and
out.
then the other like 15% was their kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
the 5% was like people our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so great.
It was great. Laughing, crying,
I was
feeling anxious, patriotic.
I was feeling G's.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I was like I was in there with them.
Yeah.
I was pulling the 10 G's. No, and he was really in that
He
bitch.
was making the ugly faces and everything.
he was he was like going through the mountains. I was like, oh shit! Oh,
Literally, I was. I
I was feeling.
I was like, damn, I'm really in this bitch.
I caught myself breathing like
Holding your breath.
you're like, come on down when they're going.
Right.
You're like, come on.
I was like,
Literally.
oh, shit, I'm fucking holding that
Hold my
stick.
breath.
You're like, don't pass out. Don't pass
Right.
out.
For real. And then fucking. I also, towards the end of the movie, I remembered the foreshadowing of the. Remember they were playing darts, the bullseye.
Oh.
Remember he was doing it blind. I was like,
Genius.
I was like,
I
that's-
never even thought about that.
I didn't think about that until right this second.
that's crazy.
That's
right?
That's pretty good.
Bob. But
Bob.
that wasn't Bob doing the darts.
No.
That was Hangman, right?
That was Hangman, because he was like, "You're good." It was like, what is it? Wait, what does he say? Or he's like, "You're good," or whatever. He's like, "I know," whatever.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I am good.
Yeah.
Basically, like,
What the fuck you talking about?
Right.
it's like the only guy with a confirmed kill in the past 40 years. So that made him like hot shit.
Yeah.
Because you killed one person.
And then fucking Maverick became Ace. Fucking 5 enemy.
5 enemy kills.
He was the fucking a beast though. He was like, "Oh, we can do this shit."
I thought
He
didn't
said
think
2
was
minutes.
gonna still be in the military in this movie.
Yeah, he was like 3 minutes. Nah, fuck that.
Fuck
2
that.
minutes.
Like
15 seconds.
Like 225, right? Or like 215.
It was like
It was
2:15.
2:15.
And he fucking 1 second ahead.
He
He's
consistently.
like, fuck you mean.
All right.
I like how they stayed. He consistently disobeyed
Everything.
everyone. I said that's exactly
And I was like, he
why.
got into character. That's true.
Damn, Chevy.
Yeah, he was like, I
Chevy.
do what I do.
Sorry.
You gonna bring her in here,
Yeah. Open the door, Amanda.
Chevy?
Chevy.
Chevy. Come here.
Come on. Come on. She don't want to jump.
She's
Come
rolling
on.
down the floor. She's scared.
Yeah.
There she is. Big girl.
Aw.
Yep.
What's up, Chevy? Come here, Chevy.
Cutie.
Anyways, yeah, continuously, just like, oh, these are the rules. Nope.
No. But
Don't make the flight. Okay, I'm going to make the flight and then destroy the plane.
Yeah.
Because I told you not to go over 10. Not to go over 10 G's. And you were like, I'm going to push it. Because at that speed, 0.1 is probably, another 300 miles per hour?
Yeah.
400
Yeah.
miles
At
per
that,
hour.
at 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
10
you're not
is-
even
yeah.
seeing. Like, you can't even see what's in front of
No.
you. You're in fucking space at
But
that
that's
point.
because he had to be. Because that's why he was heating up. He was like, oh shit, the heat shield is starting to...
Yeah, he's the fastest man in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
Literally.
There's no one faster than him. I'm gonna put.
And
it
did you saw it on the map when it moved just like from state
It
to
was
state
just
to
going.
state? Yeah. It was gone.
And I was like,
That's
this
terrifying for any
human.
country. They're like, fuck, 10 G's. They could do whatever they want and be back in
Yeah.
America and like
Was that those F-35s he was?
those were F-22s.
The one in the beginning?
I don't know what that
At the
was.
beginning?
Yeah, that one he hit 10 G's with.
Oh no, that's like a. You saw that skunk on the tail?
Mm-mm.
It's a tail flash, what they call it. It's a skunk, and that's supposed to signify like skunk works. It's a Lockheed Martin. Like they do all the secret stuff. They built the stealth bomber. They built everything that you hear about from like
That's dope.
spaceships and stuff.
That's super
That's why
cool.
that's why they showed that Lockheed Martin shot to show
Yeah.
like he's like a test pilot for Lockheed Martin.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was super dope. The whole beginning,
Mm-hmm.
that intro. How would you know?
That worth it. Worth
was
it for
like,
just that.
Is this Tony Scott, like resurrected
All right.
from the grave? And yeah, the intro of the technicians, the engineer, everybody
Everyone on the
sending
flight
directions.
line.
Yeah, I was like, this is the intro. This is the same intro from Tony Scott, but I'm glad they didn't stick with. I wanted it to stick to like Tony Scott, just everybody sweaty. I wanted it to stay like
Everybody's
that.
just wet right now for no reason.
But it went back to a normal movie. But it was shot amazingly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was great.
Amazing cinematography. Like it exceeded my expectations because I would have never thought Top Gun 2 is gonna have good cinematography, but it did.
Especially the in-flight shots.
the in-flight, I was talking about the exterior shots when they were going through the valleys. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
just-
yeah.
Wasn't
that
it crazy?
one shot when you see them all breaking sound, like they're breaking the sound barrier.
It's crazy.
So it's like I was like, that is one of the
They
greatest
put-
shots I've ever seen.
They
in my
put
life.
like 6 IMAX cameras on one jet, each jet, and with like a wide like not fisheye, but like a 10 millimeter, like a wide lens.
Yeah.
So they could see everything. And like, how the fuck did they fit? But I think I read earlier today after we watched the movie, all they had to do was get the camera and just the lens, and they would have to record. They would like press record basically, and you couldn't get any feedback. So like you would do the scene, fly the route, everything, and then once it's over, then you go back, get the SD card, put it in, then watch what you just shot.
Oh wow.
Instead of like a actual you're seeing as it's happening, you would have to do it all and then watch
just
it again.
wait, so
Yeah.
they're just watching it happen.
They're like,
Yeah.
hopefully this shit's getting it.
Because we're gonna have to go again.
And then it was like,
Because that is, they're flying jets.
Yeah.
That is expensive.
yeah, they had like close-up shots, medium shots, the exteriors, all in one jet. And
They're in
it's
the
like,
fucking
Great
desert,
shots.
just like
just
and it's like, how did the
in the
fuck-
mountains.
The whole time in the movie, while we were sitting in the theater, I was like, how the fuck did they do this? That's ridiculous.
I heard that they was that you telling me? I can't remember. Somebody said there's like a fighter jet with cameras on it to get most of those shots. Because you have to be able to keep up with the jets. So there's like
Yeah.
a fighter jet with like IMAX cameras on it.
It's crazy.
It is
Like
I,
following them,
I texted
Like
somebody.
trailing.
I was like, these are the best aerial shots
the best.
ever. I don't. This is going to set the precedent for any kind of movie like this in the future. Even if
Yeah.
it's like CGI,
Practical.
Or something.
No, fuck CGI.
Yeah.
This was all practical. And even if there was CGI, you couldn't even tell. There was probably CGI for effect.
At least, like maybe like the dome, maybe when they were in the sky
Yeah.
or something.
But like other than that, it was
No,
so
it
good.
was great.
And then
Even
that,
like when they were like upside down on each other, or like the
who
stop shots.
Who the fuck needs CGI? Do that shit in real life.
Right. And
If you got
Tom
them-
Cruise
if you
was
got-
really in that fucking jet.
If you got the budget, do that shit. In
He
real
was
life.
really in that shit.
Those them shots where you see how close they are to each other, like when he popped the flares to save his life. I was like, that is probably the best shot I've ever seen.
And
of
those shots of
combat.
how low they are to the ground. It's,
When they were over the ocean, you're
Yeah,
like,
and he,
or
like,
he was over
looked
the
to the side.
ground. I was like, you're maybe not even 30 feet off the ground right now. Not even.
that was crazy. Because I don't. That shit was.
I think the snow shots were the best.
snow
shots
shot,
in
yeah.
that entire.
the whole time.
Every snow shot they had.
Even on the ground when they were running and
When he was
when
running
he
through the
was
snow,
running, yes. When the helicopter shows up.
and Nate was like, "This is Mission Impossible."
right when he was not in a jet,
Yeah.
I was like,
Mission Impossible.
Mission
I
Impossible.
was like, oh, he's not. I thought he was gonna die because I was like the whole thing.
I thought he was gonna
He
die.
was like, was honor serving with you. I'm
Yeah.
like, yep, this nigga about to die, and I'm
I
gonna
was
cry
like, "Oh
right now.
my god,
I
I'm
was like,
gonna
I'ma
fucking
cry.
teared up, thought
cry."
Maverick died,
Yeah.
and then teared up, thought Rooster died,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then I was so happy they're both alive.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god!" When were doing the training exercises, and old buddy fucking passed out from the G's, and then they were trying to
That
wake him
got
up.
me. I was like, every single point where there was supposed to be like anxiousness or like intensity,
It was
I felt
there.
it.
Yeah,
I felt
for
it.
sure.
They gave you what a fighter pilot probably has to feel and ignore. That's how I feel. I was like, I feel like I'm a pilot right now. Like everything is on the line right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
With these guys,
Yeah.
I'm with you in these cockpits. When they were trying to get that F-14, when they snuck onto the base, it was a lot of funny moments in this movie.
It
Too.
was.
Yeah.
There definitely was.
Miles Teller is really good about bringing some levity.
Because and I was telling Mendo on the way home, this Miles Teller is going to be in a lot more movies now.
After this, oh my
Yeah.
god, he
Killed
amazing performance.
Killed it.
Playing
And great
Goose's
casting.
son.
Looks just like him.
That's what I told Amanda.
I was like,
said, genius.
that looks like his son.
Yeah,
When he was
it looks
playing
like
the
it'd be a son.
piano, I feel like Miles Teller probably watched Top Gun like
Oh
over
my
and over.
God.
It was like, because there's not enough Goose in that. Well, there's not enough Goose in that movie to be as good as he was. So he had to like make believe that my dad was dead when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just want to make him happy. So I had to be prior enlisted. That's the part. He was already in the Navy and then asked to go become an officer. So he could have done that 4 years. That's why he's pissed. He's like, you could have. That was 4 years I had to wait. Because it's only like every 4 years they let people in from enlisted. So I'm like, this dude is. You felt his disdain for him, not because
Yeah.
of my dad, but because of you fucked my career up.
Right, which you learn later. Because I was like, oh, I thought he was just mad at him because of his dad.
That's what you thought. I
Yeah.
thought that before we saw the movie. And I was like, oh, he's actually not mad at all. Is Meg Ryan on drugs?
Who's Meg Ryan?
The one that was in Top Gun that was Goose's
mom.
wife. Rooster's mom.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think she's ever been the same since she got her lips done.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't even know that was her
I
name.
think her career went like after what's that called? You Got Mail? Yeah. No. You're like, I still don't know who she is.
What else happened in the movie?
Iceman.
Cried.
Literally in the theater, doing like that with my fingers, so that the people next to me wouldn't see me crying.
Because I was about to be disappointed. It showed
I
him.
was like, oh.
It showed him texting Iceman. I was like, is this how they're gonna do it?
And then you're like, oh.
Because I was like,
Great setup.
because I heard Val Kilmer is gonna be in it, and I'm like, how?
Mm-hmm.
Man has throat cancer. How are they gonna do it? And then they show him texting Iceman, and I'm like, this is how they're gonna have him in the movie.
Yeah.
That's not Val Kilmer. It's texting.
Because you see it in the credits, like when it's the starting,
Mm-hmm.
you see his name, and it's like, okay, so he's gonna be in here.
Mhm.
And then you see Val Kilmer,
Mm-hmm.
and I get sad, and I'm like,
Instantly sad.
because I'm like, I know what he's going through.
Yeah.
And then he's typing on the computer. I'm like, is this how they're gonna do Iceman? And then boom, they have him talk and have him say some real shit.
That was real tear, like real
Not
tears.
gonna lie, I had no idea that he ever had throat cancer.
Yeah.
I thought he was just in the background chilling all these years. I was like, oh, he's rich. He's just not like being in the spotlight.
Oh no,
I didn't
he's
know
sick.
he had a tracheotomy. Jesus
Mhm.
Christ.
Yeah, he's sick.
That's sad. And that makes it even more sad. Then you killed him.
Yeah,
That was just added.
but you got to do it for Iceman. But that's why they did, is because like Iceman's not there.
Mhm.
Iceman's not here to protect you.
Maybe he was dead. They didn't waste a second.
Not a second. That's the
You're
military for
grounded.
you.
That was like that part here. I said, that's the part we get me riled up. Like these pussy ass stars, you fucking political pieces of shit. This nigga done all kinds of shit for you, and you mad because he don't listen to you.
Yeah,
Shut up, motherfucker. That's your ego.
yeah,
And at every turn, he made your ego go away because he was right every single time. I'm the best pilot that you have.
yeah.
You need to let. I'm not teaching these kids.
Watch
shit.
this.
Right.
Fucking did that shit.
He was like, "Who's out there?" And he just pops up on the
Yep.
radar. And you're like, "Who is that?" He kills it with like 2 seconds left to
Yep.
spare. Which, from reading this, fighter pilots train to experience G forces. If you or I go through 10 Gs without training, then we're gonna die. Block 220 miles per hour every second. It's like that's what you'll feel. So
Yeah,
at
he's
10
like
Gs,
10,000 pounds or something.
They said 2,000 pounds. He was like, at 10 Gs, it's 2,000 pounds on your body.
Yeah, like crushing.
That's an elephant.
A hippo.
That shit's ridiculous.
Fucking a car.
There's a ton.
You'd die.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be ridiculous.
That's why you have to train
like-
for that shit. For real.
It really is. That's why they can't have. That's why those cockpits are small. You can't have any kind of like at those speeds. You can't have no wiggle room. Because if you move just a little bit, imagine hitting your head just a little bit, concussion.
That's the same shit with like F1.
Mm-hmm. They just be you gotta
work out. You gotta get
Yeah.
that neck workout.
They do because Lewis Hamilton be in that joint with the head joint. He be doing it. Cause they're all like super physically fit in F1.
Yeah, you gotta have strong arms. You gotta keep your arms down.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get in a car crash, your arms go up and you fucking lose that shit.
Ugh. So fighter pilots are exactly. That's why I'm like they always have to be. You can't have a even semi pudgy fighter pilot. They're always super in shape. They never have a waist. They don't have. They're like because any extra weight is a disadvantage for me. If I'm
That's just
200
crazy.
pounds, I'm dead. I'm passing out for sure.
Yeah.
Which beach scene?
Can we talk about that shit? I saw Miles Teller shirtless.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the nonsense is over. I need to get jacked. Like it's enough playing around. Like
He was ridiculous.
and I'm like, who the fuck told him?
I mean, like abs on abs. I was like, you just went from like an 8 to a 10 because you were already like cute, funny, you know?
Yeah, he was a funny dude.
Yeah.
And now you're hot.
Next level, right?
Not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Now
He
he's a
brought
hot
it.
boy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was like, and they did the beach scene.
Yeah.
They did it. Looked exactly like the first movie.
Me and Nate looked at each other like,
We're like,
They
yeah.
this
just
shit's
had
gay right
everything-
now.
Everything in this movie was like, we're going to give you every piece of nostalgia we can shove in here from the first movie. Even down to the walking into the bar in your blues.
Yeah. Or whites for them.
Whatever they called them. I don't know.
Yeah, he stepped up in that bar.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I said that.
Clean.
I said them Navy boys.
That shit was
I said them
clean.
Navy niggas be having the illest uniforms next to
Clean.
Marines, which is still the Navy. But
He fucking.
Them shits were clean.
All up in that shit. It was like, where's she at? Where's my girl at?
Right. And I was like, damn, she left his ass.
but that was a lot of the stuff was like, that part was true when he was pulling. I was like, once you pull a certain amount of G's, those planes become unflyable. Like you can't because it's basically you just cracked everything.
Yeah.
You just pushed it to the point where you stretch
Push it to the
everything
limit.
out. Because that's what he said. She was like, the F-18 can only go 7.4. He was like, that's acceptable limits. We're going way past that. Buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, people don't know. That's a lot of stuff in the military. They be like, oh, it can go this fast. No. It usually goes way faster or way deeper.
Right.
Than what
Or
we
that's
tell you.
the unclassified version.
That's what you know we can do.
That's what we can tell you.
But we allow the enemies to know.
Exactly.
I told you that happened with Sergeant Lee because his brother was a submarine guy, and there was a dude at a Navy base, and he was doing an interview on the news, and he was like, "Oh, this is this thing, and it can go this deep." And his brother looked at Sergeant Lee and was like, "Oh, that dude's gonna get in big trouble."
He's about to get assassinated.
Because he told them the classified depth, how deep it can go
All fucking.
on
we
the
all be in
fucking
that shit.
news. So he was like, he's in so much trouble right now. Like, you probably can't even find that video on your internet.
We did. I remember when one day at work, they're like, "Oh, the Discovery Channel is gonna come in." We were like, "What the fuck? It's the Discovery Channel." So we were on the Discovery Channel, but we had to do so much preparation to put away all the classified, all the secret. Everybody had to be like prepared.
Yeah, like they ask you this, don't
Yeah.
answer. If they ask you this question, don't say
Like
this.
certain things on the screen that we see all the time, they couldn't be shown.
Yeah.
Things like that. Because you're talking about your job, and they're asking you like, "Oh, what do you do?" And you're like, "I just fucking
Like,
type."
Neo,
Yeah, I look at the
goddamn.
screen. That's what I do, nigga. Don't ask me no more questions. That's it.
I get addicted to cigarettes.
Right. I'm
That's
on
a
lunch break.
hilarious joke because that is true. I definitely got addicted to cigarettes.
Everybody I know that went to the military, except for Josh, that I know of.
He's in Italy.
No,
he
I
definitely
didn't.
smokes
I
cigarettes.
never smoke cigarettes.
Oh, you didn't? Not even once?
Never.
It's because you come from a home where cigarette smoke.
Yep. That's what I'm
Never.
talking about, Menda. Fuck cigarettes.
I smoked a Black and Mild before,
That's worse. That's way more ghetto.
but
But that's like induction.
That's such a
yeah.
ugh, you had
But
to
I was
be in
also,
Fort Long Beach.
but I was also drinking for local at
That's
the
some
same time.
hood rat
Hey. Hood rat.
Hood.
That's some hood
I
rat
bought
shit.
these
Right.
motherfucking jugs. Oh.
Oh my gosh! And that was
Red.
because my friend at the time, Ashley, she was smoking Black and Milds, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Of course.
That makes
but she
sense.
also smoked cigarettes too. So I was like,
Actually was a Black and Mild smoker.
yeah. She's like, "You want one?" I was like, "All right, I'll go outside with you."
Huh.
Right?
Sitting there like that.
Yeah. Trying to be cute.
But
It was great. It was a great movie.
such a good movie. My review on Letterboxd. I forgot exactly. It was some shit. Oh, here's if you look back like a minute ago on the camera, I was looking for my water bottle like a madman. I was like, where is this fucking thing? I lost it, but I was sitting right next to it. I said, what did I say, Linda?
You said up there with Blade Runner 2049 for the best 30-plus-year-old sequels. They fucking nailed it with this one. God bless America, goddammit.
No, seriously. I saluted when I walked out of the movie theater. I was
Yeah, I had
like,
to.
I did when they were like in dedication to Tony Scott. Me and Nate were like, fucking right.
God damn it. Yeah, I was like, they really did it with this one.
Yeah.
Fucking Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell.
Just
Shout out.
Just great. Just
I
great.
loved it.
And then we were in the car, and I was like, Jerry Bruckheimer is a
I'm
fucking
about to say, I was like, Bruckheimer back, baby.
billionaire.
And I was telling Menda before we went into the movie how this movie was even made.
Mm-hmm.
Was Joseph Kaczynski, who's the director? Kaczynski. I don't know his first name.
Yeah, that guy. He's not unknown, but I never seen his name before.
He did Oblivion. He did fucking Only the Brave.
Yeah, Joseph Kaczynski.
Oh, he's done a lot of like. Oh, he did Oblivion.
Yeah,
He did
Tron
movie.
Legacy.
Yeah,
Okay, so he's all right. He's not unheard of. I fuck with Cuz.
he's been around. Only the Brave.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie. He did it about the hot shots, the Arizona firefighters.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah. That
R.I.P.
movie was great.
R.I.P. I have my hoodie. If it was cold, I'd be wearing that hoodie. But, Joseph, is it Joseph Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mhm.
He has worked with Tom Cruise before, and so 5 years ago, he went to Tom Cruise, pitched his Top Gun Maverick, his sequel. He was like, "Here's how I want to do it. Here's where the character's at now. This is gonna be the story. This is what you do. This is everything." Tom Cruise was like, "I fuck with it," and he pulls out his phone, calls Paramount, and is like, "We're doing this."
Hey, what's up, guys? He just calls Paramount.
And I'm like, Tom Cruise is just like, I could do anything I want.
Mm-hmm.
To have that power
Yeah.
and be like, I'm gonna call Paramount, be like, "Hey, by the way, we're doing this."
Because he definitely made his money back. Let's see what the.
It already
budget
did.
was.
I looked it up. The budget was 152 million.
That's it?
152 million. Guess how much it made today? 161. First day.
It was packed last night.
Yeah.
I was not
This morning
expecting
it was
that.
packed.
This morning it was packed. And we weren't even IMAX.
Right. Every theater that we tried to get into, packed. Done.
It already made 161 million. Hasn't
Yeah.
even been 2 days.
It's
Yeah.
a good movie. Great movie.
It's a great movie.
Great movie. It deserves it. It's not hype. This is a great movie.
Yeah, and this isn't a corny like cash grab.
No.
There's definitely thought put into this.
Right. And even what we're saying right now, it still doesn't ruin the movie because you
At all.
have to see it.
This is like a ride at
Yeah.
a
It's an
theme park.
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
It's an
cannot
experience.
You can't just be like, "Oh, y'all ruined it." Like that. When old buddy dodged their missile, I was like, "That's the F-22." That's what I wanted to talk about last. Like them planes, the shit when he just stopped and was like, "I'm just gonna make this like."
Yep.
He just stopped the plane and was just like, "All right, now I said, oof." When he was like, "What the fuck was
Yeah,
that?"
that was crazy.
He was like, "What
was
the
like,
hell
what
was
was
that?"
I was like, that's real.
He didn't need to do. Oh, but
That's
he didn't do no chaff,
He's
no
like,
flares.
fuck
He
flares.
was just like, "Bong, I'm just gonna hit this.
Right.
I'm a break.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust this U on you real quick."
Yeah, that shit was
Like it was
wild.
nothing. I saw that when I saw the F-22 at the air show do that. When it flew up, it was just like, I'm just gonna stop now and just float back down. So that's why I like that shot. I was like, I like when they showed the capabilities. Like,
Yeah.
these people have to deal with this shit.
And
every
there's
day.
real people out there that do this shit all
Every
day.
all
day.
the time.
that
There's
shit.
people out there shooting other jets down, and you don't know nothing about it. You don't know shit about it
That shit.
No.
because it's classified.
And like that whole time, they couldn't say shit about what they just
like
did.
even like when they
Couldn't say
come
shit.
back, you're like, "What happened?" They're like, "We mission
came home.
accomplished."
Yeah, we
That's
came home.
because we
We
literally
did it.
cannot talk about what we just did. That'd be the
So
wildest
crazy.
part about that kind of stuff.
Because they didn't say if it was on our land or their land, right?
Oh no, it was there.
It was there, but they just never say it. It's
They
like
just
enemy
didn't say
territory.
where,
Yeah.
but it was there.
I think that was very smart politically because you never. It was kind of like when they went out. We were watching Chernobyl, and they're like, "Get over the fact that they don't have Russian accents." I'm like, "Well, I can't get over that."
Right, because it's fucking
This is
Chernobyl.
fucking Chernobyl. It's in the Ukraine, nigga. Like,
And he's fucking has an English
he
accent.
has all these people, and they're super British. Like, some of them are Cockney British.
I think Jessie Buckley's in there, right? The girl from
Yes.
I'm Thinking of Anything.
Yes, that's her. Yeah, she's in there.
The girl from Men.
Dumbass little fucking. She's a stupid woman in that show.
What role does she play? Is she like a doctor, scientist?
She's a wife.
She's a wife
Stupid.
who's pregnant.
Stupid mom.
Is
too.
she like Breaking Bad wife? Kind of.
No, it's way more loving. Skylar's a bitch. I would have said that. I'm
You're
saying
like,
she was
fuck
a
her.
stupid woman. I didn't call her a bitch. Skylar's a bitch. Fuck her.
Yeah.
This woman she just loved her husband, but she is just a goddamn pedestrian. Because we're talking about radio.
Yeah.
They literally keep telling her, stay away from your husband. He is radioactive.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And then she'll sneak in there. There's a scene where she takes his decaying hand that has his skin falling off of it as his pupils are melting into his eyes.
Yeah.
And she takes his hand and said, we're having a baby. And a nurse walks in and said, bitch, didn't I ask you were you pregnant or not? And you told me no. She's like,
And you could even be in there with the fucking curtains open.
The nurses couldn't be in there. There was like layers of protection
I remember
between
you
them.
telling me that.
And she put his hand on her fucking stomach. You know what happened, right? The fucking baby died. And 'cause I think the baby died. I'm pretty sure she had a miscarriage. And she didn't. That baby's gonna
That
be
baby's an
born
alien.
with fucked up. I hated her that entire time. I was like, that's just stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid. Like,
Stupid.
That sounds like frustrating.
Yeah, no.
It's beyond
It's as frustrating as fucking little kids in movies. Hate them.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
Hate
Little
them.
kids in horror
Dude,
movies.
when we were watching the Day the Earth Stood Still, we were
Keanu Reeves.
yes. You forget that Jaden Smith is in that movie.
Yeah.
He
Fucking
is?
He's the
idiot.
kid of Jennifer Connelly.
What? I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that movie in
Idiot. I
over a
was like,
decade.
I wanted to knee him in the stomach. He's a dumbass little bitch in that movie. He's a dumbass little bitch in After Earth. He's a dumbass little bitch in fucking Pursuit of Happiness.
And probably in real life.
Exactly. That's what I was going to go
I'll
on
be
my
honest.
next point.
Will
Like, if you
Smith-
can
like, is
tap
he
in-
acting
Will
or
Smith-
is that real?
Will Smith,
Because-
come at me.
Yeah, like is he
Bruh.
good? I dare you smack. Like nah. Will Smith probably beat my ass. He played Muhammad Ali, so.
But yeah, I just annoying. But
Yeah, but Top Gun, there was I couldn't think of anybody who annoyed me in that movie, which was crazy, except for the Admiral.
John Hamm, yeah.
Yeah, except for the Admiral.
I
John
love
Hamm played
Air
that
Boss.
fucking. But I like these movies like that because we know John Hamm is actually can be pretty funny too.
Yeah.
And I like seeing him in like these like I'm a stoic 3-star admiral.
Yeah, he
Like,
was in a whole bunch of movies. But he always has that role of being that authority in the way.
yes.
He's always like that typecast.
When he said, what did he say? The way he said it, it was like, we're done. Like when he told him that you're grounded and he was just still standing there, he was like, that's it. Like the way he said it made me want to fight him. Because I've heard people say stuff like that to me.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, who you talking to? Like, what the fuck? He just bitched you. Like, we're done. Like, get out of my face. I
Yeah.
have no time for you. You don't mean nothing to me anymore. You're not flying a mission. You're grounded. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna teach the class. Bitch, you don't fly.
You ain't gonna do shit.
Right.
You been
And
sitting
then,
behind
watch
the
this.
desk. As I fly through this valley like it's nothing and hit the target twice.
it felt like that soaring ride at Disney. You know what I'm talking about?
And he did all that shit by himself.
Yeah.
He didn't need no fucking team.
By himself.
Yeah.
He hit it forward, hitting the G's, and backward.
Right. Boom. Flip the target. Gone.
Crazy.
First hit done.
Gone.
I'm gonna do it again. On my
Gone.
way up, he was manually aiming the guided missile. That wasn't laser targeting. He was hitting them G's and was like,
Boom.
fucking.
Got
He
it.
was like, nodding off. Like, oh, fuck. Boom, hit it.
Fucking national treasure.
And then they were, but then the mission was probably the most anxiety
It was
inducing.
crazy. It was so
Like
crazy.
the training was crazy, but the actual when it came mission
Yeah.
time,
I was
And-
like, this is gonna be the longest.
because there was no mission in
2
the first
minutes
Top
ever.
Gun.
There was no mission. It was
It
all
was,
training.
it was kind of just like, oh, we ran into each
It
other.
was like Ender's Game type shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we ran into each other. This wasn't supposed to happen. These MiGs just showed up because we're trying to get
It's
our...
like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then they battle.
Yeah.
Dogfight.
This mission was like, no,
about
somebody's
to do this
probably
shit.
going to die.
Which is what I thought the first Top Gun was about. until I rewatched it like a few weeks ago.
And it really wasn't.
I was like,
about
this
a
is just
mission.
training. The whole
Yeah,
time.
this is just like, oh,
And
them
then it
being
just
in the
happened
school.
to the Russians were just like, yeah, we're just gonna start shooting at you guys now. This shit was like the surface to air missile scene when everybody's just popping flares.
Crazy
That was
when they did
wild.
the when they did like were like first it was in the fight and then when you did the wide shot of you
And
see
you
it all
see
happening.
it all happening.
That was so good. That was so good.
I'm getting goosebumps talking about that scene because I was like, these niggas are because they didn't
Yeah.
play no music. They just let you
It
hear
was
the
just
radio
happening.
chatter.
And them talking to each other back
the
and forth. yeah.
overlapping chat. It was so good.
Because he said, why didn't you? That was communication at like its highest level.
Yeah.
I have to be able to dodge and then tell you what I'm going to do and then tell you what just happened.
Yeah.
While still trying not to get shot at the
Yeah.
same time. Because and they can't just sit there in that spot. They was like, we have to keep going.
Yeah.
Because we have to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
We're in a
what?
dogfight. Yeah.
It went from surface to air to dogfight. So
Yeah.
it was like double.
Yeah, because that
And then
was
they said we're not going to beat their planes. Like we can't. They're 5th generation. Those are F-22s. We're flying like
when they were
2nd
doing
gen.
like the
Right.
F-14 against the F. That was crazy. I was like, and they're really doing their thing.
Right.
But it really is the pilot. Like you just have to know your plane. He was like, I know what I got here.
They don't think, just do.
You said not to think, and then he just stared at him. Was just like, you fucking got me, man. You
Alright.
fucking got me, dude.
I was like, oh, he's fucked. This is it.
The hug.
At the end, when they landed, when they landed, and everybody was like, "Yeah," I'm like, "They're gonna do the wingman. You could be my wingman anytime."
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for
that
it.
shit.
You know, they just said it. He was like, "Thank you for saving my life."
Yeah,
Just said
straight
it.
up.
And they hugged him twice. The hug twice thing is, I love
the second
your dad.
one, right? The second one.
I'm
The
down-
second one was, "You're my dad that has always been looking out for me."
Yeah.
Talk
And I
to me,
love
Goose.
you.
And
Right.
this was Goose talking to me.
Right. And he said, "Talk to me, Dad." I was like,
Ugh.
oh my God.
Then the picture at the end, and he taps the picture.
And then it's a
his
picture of
dad.
them. I was
Just a
tearing.
moment of silence.
I was
please.
tearing up. I think I teared. I don't think I cried, but I teared up like 5 or 6 times.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
it well. I took my meds before I went, but I still felt it well.
Yeah.
enough.
I
Same.
felt a huge well like twice, but there was like 5 or 6 times where I was like,
There was a moment where the theater was completely silent.
Because they thought he was dead. Everybody thought he was dead.
It was like, damn.
When they were silent in the control room, everybody in the movie theater is silent.
And they were like, just leave him.
It's
Leave
like,
him.
you can't go back. And you're like, Cruise is
nah.
about, then you're like, oh shit, Tom Cruise is alive. Oh no, Tom Cruise is about to die again.
Yeah, Tom Cruise
There's
is about to
no
die.
way.
And then it blacks out. I thought that was gonna be the end of the movie, when it shows the close up of Miles Teller's face, when like he's gone. There's no coming. And then it shows like, and then it blacks out. I was like, if they leave on that, that'd be crazy.
That would be
Wow.
an okay ending.
That would be such a like wild
Because the
ending.
mission was accomplished.
Because yeah, it was over.
The mission was over. We just had to get back to the boat. That was probably more anxiety inducing than completing the mission.
Yeah.
Because you knew getting back was going to be harder than them blowing
Right.
up the
Yeah.
damn shit. Because they said it. They were like, even if we get away from the surface to air missiles, we still have to deal with the fact that they're just flying around here waiting for this.
You know how I said when he was outside of the jet in Russia or wherever he was, I said it turned into Mission Impossible. Can we time out that Mission Impossible trailer?
Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah.
that-
That's why I texted y'all in the middle of the damn thing. I was like, Mission Impossible 7 is going to be a part 1.
So I was like half asleep at that point, right?
Yeah.
And I thought he was talking about Top Gun.
So she just kept
So-
talking to me as if Top Gun
Was a part
was
one.
a part 1.
Right. So I was like, oh yeah. Da, da, da. And then he was like, he walked in the house.
Don't.
He walked in-
Don't.
and he was like, He's like, you know that I was talking about Mission Impossible, right? And I was like,
Because I can't remember how I knew you didn't know what I was talking about.
He said.
What did the text message say? 'Cause I texted
He
both of
said-
y'all.
I think
you
he
said
said the
Mission
next-
Impossible, and in my mind, I
I
just
literally
seen
said
Tom
the
Cruise.
next Mission Impossible is a part
Yeah,
one.
I literally just seen Tom
So
Cruise
in our
in my
group
head.
chat, new Mission Impossible is a part 1. That's all.
And what does Amanda say?
A 2-hour part 1. LOL.
See, that's when I knew she knew I was. That's when she said that. I mean, she thinks I'm talking about fucking Top Gun.
And then I said, sick. I need a 3-hour.
Yeah,
part
but
one.
then I was like, Nate knows what I'm talking about. I was like, Nate knows what I'm talking
Oh my
about.
God.
And I'm pretty sure this is when the movie ended, but you said, I'm gonna cry right now.
Yeah,
'Cause
that was me
like
walking
3
out of
hours
the
after.
movie theater. I was on my way out the door, and I was like, I'm gonna cry right now. On the
Yeah.
way to the car, I was welling up just thinking about the movie.
Yeah, because when we left, I was like, I get it. Because that movie,
That was wild.
it got me the whole way.
The whole thing
What the fuck
was
is that?
great.
I think it's just somebody opened the door, like
Oh.
air displacement or
Oh.
something.
But
They probably opened the door
Mm-hmm.
and the front door.
it was
Front
great.
door. We need one of those. Front door. You know those?
No,
little-
that's creepy.
I hate those things.
no.
The voices.
Oh, because what if somebody breaks in and then you know how they do in horror movies?
Yeah, front door. And you're like,
Front door
why
locked.
did the front? Yeah, the door's locked, but then it opens by itself. That's actually pretty good in horror movies. I
I
watched
think-
Cabin in the Woods last night too. That's become a cult classic.
Yeah, it's definitely gaining a cult following.
Yeah, and I see why, because I think everybody took it seriously at first. I know we're going off. But everybody took it seriously at first, and then watching it, it's like
You're
it's
like,
more of
this-
a Nate movie.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's way more of like your style of like.
We were talking about with one of her friends, saying that Cabin in the Woods is for like horror movie lovers.
Yes.
Like it's a movie for that.
Yes.
And I was like, that's exactly what it is. Because like I watched it years later and I was
Mhm.
like, this is like actually kind of great.
Yeah, because they said it was supposed to be. It symbolizes how theater, the great ones, are supposed to be the audience, and how we always want more violence and gore to the point where now we have like, what are those Euro films like exploitation? They
Yeah.
like actually like. I think that's what Hostel was. I think they actually do that in some movies in Europe, like these underground movies that like torture people and stuff.
Yeah, like the snuff type.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah, snuff tapes. Because I just read about that too with that serial
That's
killer.
just crazy.
Yeah, they showed one of those when I was deployed. They found a snuff tape on a hard drive. They killed a baby in that movie.
Mm-mm.
Like I was like, these people are.
You know what a
Nuts.
horror movie about that is? Videodrome. David Cronenberg. I wore my shirt just for this episode.
Lit.
We're not even talking about it. Where are we in that?
We're at 45.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
We're doing pretty good actually.
Yeah.
What is that? We're like halfway through the episode.
Yeah, for sure. Just because of fucking Top Gun. It's
Top
such a
Gun,
good
that was
movie.
so good. I knew we were gonna. There's no way we were
There's
gonna
no
not
way
talk.
you could not talk about it.
It was so good.
That can't be Patreon. They
So-
have to share that with the world.
Yeah. So for the people who are here for the Cronenberg talk, you go see, because that's such different crowds.
Right.
That's such different crowds.
I do
But-
want to watch it because I want to watch Cronenberg movies. I just didn't. I don't know why. I think I forgot this week. I can't remember why. But
They're very. I mean,
Kids were.
kids.
Got
oh,
it.
that's
That's
right. The kids are home. That's
Yeah.
why.
what I was telling Menda. I was like, it might be hard. watching them.
It's they're not kid friendly. I was watching one in the kitchen, and I had to like turn it off because I was watching Scanners, and I was like, dude, fucking
great
blew
one.
his head up, and I was like, Max was like, stop.
Max,
he was walking by and he stopped. He's like,
he walks in at the worst moment on
The worst
every
times.
movie ever. Every
literally.
movie.
And
he
it
walks
was
in,
it was the beginning when he's sitting there and they're at like
At
the
the
little
conference.
conference, and he's just like, okay, think of something, and he fucking blew his head up.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
That's like Stranger Things. I was watching Stranger Things today. He's really quiet. He moves very like, you'll just turn around and he's just standing in the doorway. So you don't know how long he's actually been watching, but you can kind of tell depending on how far his mouth is open. 'Cause like today I was watching Stranger Things and one of the fucking things showed up, the
The
flower
Demogorgon?
mouth thing, yeah. And I turned around, he was like... and I was like, oh, you've been standing here for a minute.
he definitely seems like the one that would like horror movies though.
He's a little... He don't like them. He'll like them
No,
later.
Later in life.
Because he's so scared of them now, he'll like them later.
Yeah, but Zoe shows hints of it, of her liking them.
She's very she likes the makeup part of horror movies, like the
Yeah.
costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
Roman is unaffected by them. He doesn't care.
He just rather not watch.
Yeah. Like he'll
Like,
sit
this
there, but it'll be like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, he's like, can we watch?
He'll be
fucking-
staring there like you really watching this right now? Because I'm about to sleep with you tonight.
Yeah.
Because-
That's why I'm like Cronenberg. I need to.
It's very weird.
I need them not to be able to walk into the room while I'm watching that.
It's
Great
very
movies,
weird.
but
Great movies.
I really wanted
they
to
show
understand-
everything.
I wanted to understand the Rick and Morty reference. That's why I really wanted to watch the Cronenberg thing.
You're gonna have to watch like his 80s, like late 80s, like movies, like Dead Ringers, The Fly.
Mm-hmm.
The Fly.
Yeah.
That's the only Cronenberg movie I've ever seen, and that movie changed my life. I was like, I didn't know I could. That was the first movie where I felt physically
You're
ill.
like,
Yeah.
I was
that-
like, this is disgusting.
I
That's
was just
what-
thinking about it right now. I
That's
was
what I
like,
wanted to.
I was like, I don't have to watch that. I don't have to
It
watch
does-
that. I don't
That's
have
what
to
I
watch
wanted
that.
to say. Is that like, because we're talking about Cronenberg, my favorite horror director.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching all those movies, they're not even really horror movies.
You're just disgusting.
They're just visual. They're body horror, which is like a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a very like gore-esque.
But as far as like the
movies.
story, it's not your typical. Did you just
What?
look it up?
Right.
No, not that.
Oh.
I saw something that you watched, and I always forgot to say R.I.P. to Ray Liotta.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to Ray Liotta. We're gonna say it before the episode's over with.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Man.
Me and
That's a hit.
me and Tatiana were watching
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
You got to. Everybody watched Goodfellas.
Mhm.
Everyone watched Goodfellas.
and I had to.
I watched Observe and Report. That's what I decided to watch.
I knew. I was like, I gotta put up to Killing Them Softly. One
Got
of
to.
this fucking movie is so good. And Ray Liotta kills it. James Gandolfini, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Quick R.I.P. Tony Soprano. But yeah, R.I.P.
We
Ray
losing the
Liotta.
greats.
That was so crazy. Both Gandolfini and Liotta gone way too soon.
67 is
67,
young.
yeah.
How old was James Gandolfini?
I think he was about like maybe. I think
He was like
in his
40.
50s.
40 or 50 something?
I think he might have been in his 50s.
Because James Gandolfini died so young. Every time I think about it, it makes me sad. Because he could have been.
51.
He was 51.
51.
Mm.
Jesus.
Like dad's age. Like 1 year young, 1 year older than dad.
He died in Italy. That's kind of lit.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Ray Liotta died in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of lit.
I was like, well, he might
Living
still
the
be
best
alive.
life.
Right, he might still be
alive.
Like, yeah, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
bro.
he was like, let them, because it came out through People. People's the one that let.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're just going to let everybody know that he died. I was like, oh, he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
He out
Do
there
you think
chilling.
you think there's some service like that for rich folk? They're like, hey man, you pay us 25 mil.
Yeah, it's called Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Like when
Did
we were
he
watching,
kill himself?
we were
No,
watching
not at
Atlanta
all.
with Tupac.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the
yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, the Atlanta episode?
The Atlanta with Tupac. They dropped
That's
like-
fucking...
their rubber on his face.
That shit.
He was like, hey, that's Tupac.
And they just sitting there. He's like,
There
how'd
he
you
is. He's
know?
like, that's Tupac.
That's Tupac.
How'd you know? I just feel his aura.
But yeah,
Oh my
with David
God.
Cronenberg, my favorite horror movie director.
Mhm.
He's great. He makes such like they're almost philosophical movies, but you on a face value you see people popping out of TVs and shit.
Yeah.
But and The Fly and shit like that.
Mhm.
But when I was 10 or 11 years old, we lived at Dreamy Draw,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my brother, it was late at night, maybe 10 p.m. It was, I think it was summer break,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I was going into 5th grade I think I was going into 6th grade actually. It was a summer between 5th and 6th grade, and I got Xbox. I signed up for like a free trial for Xbox Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
You're like, I got 30 days.
literally 30 days Xbox Live, and I was like, let's play. Me and my brother were like, let's play Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
We played Black Ops 1 on multiplayer, and Rob can relate to this. Do you remember the feeling getting Xbox Live and then playing multiplayer, and you're like, for the first time, and you're like, holy shit.
I didn't experience that until I was 19 and I was in the military, and I didn't even do it then. I waited like a year or two.
Yeah.
And while I was in, and I was like, I'm thinking about buying an Xbox. I want to stay in the house. That's exactly what happened.
You play so I downloaded the free trial Xbox Live Gold, whatever, like 30-day trial.
That first noise, you hear that fucking.
And my brother was like, he had a job. He was like 17. He was 17 because we're like 7-8 years apart, whatever. And he had a job, and he was like, just put in my card information. Like, and so we got Xbox Live for 30 days, and then we played Black Ops for hours. We were like, what the fuck? We're playing with other people.
Right.
Like,
These are real people.
yeah, we're not playing no computers. We're playing them because they were fucking killing us.
Yeah.
Like left and right.
And they didn't move. You knew it because you're like, they just don't move like computers. You can tell they're
Yeah.
smart. And like these people.
And we're like, this is crazy. This is changing. This changes our lives.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to Mark about Call of Duty the other day, like just multiplayer and how it's just changed over the years. Like when
That's
quick
crazy.
scoping became a thing was around that time.
It was around that time.
It was around that time, was around like 2010, 2011 when you first started seeing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And it's never been the same since.
Stop it, guys. I feel you guys are just ignoring us. But anyway.
I zoned out for like 2 seconds.
No, but
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
we played Black Ops.
You doing exactly? She actually, people be acting like it's multiplayer. We're shooting each other.
Right. I understand.
We were talking about like quick scoping. and
Yeah,
shit
I'm like zoned out.
What's
As if you don't hear me screaming at the screen nightly.
Oh yeah.
I got quick scope.
No, I heard you last night.
That wasn't Call of Duty.
I know, but I can hear. That's the intensity that I hear.
But my point is,
That's the
my
intensity that I
point
hear.
I just got mad again. Go ahead. I was playing that game, Frozen Horizon.
which one?
Horizon Zero Dawn, the one with the big robot animal things.
I think I heard of it.
I'll
it
show
new?
you. No, this came out in 2017. There's a new one out though. There's
Yeah,
a new one
they
out.
just put the new one
The
out.
second one is out now.
I think I see it at Target.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's been telling me the storyline, and I was like, "Damn, this is a good ass video game."
But my point is, yeah, we played Call of Duty Black Ops 1. The Nuketown was crazy.
Come on now.
And
I still play that.
Nuketown's so good. Timeless map.
You gotta buy like Cold War just to play Nuketown every once in a while.
Yeah, I have to. But we were done playing Call of Duty. We were like, we could get Netflix on this shit. We could get Netflix? So we downloaded it, did that free trial. Fuck it, you know?
I did it. I was in the dorms.
We did that free trial. We watched 3 movies that night. Me and my brother. Keep in mind, this is where it's midnight.
Yeah.
1 a.m. almost.
Right, and it's early Netflix, so they really don't have.
We watched. Here's the
selection.
Here's the 3 movies we watched. And by the way, that night didn't sleep.
I'm
The
sure.
whole night didn't sleep. And then because I was so excited, I was like, we got fucking Xbox. I waited for my dad to leave to go to work, and I was back in the living room, fucking.
One eye open.
Yeah, I was like listening out for him to leave, but so yeah, we played Call of Duty, downloaded Netflix. We watched Mortal Kombat movie, the '90s one, obviously. That was on Netflix. The next movie we watched, The Big Lebowski, and the first time I seen either of those movies. And the third movie we watched was The Fly.
Oh.
That was the last movie we watched. What a triple feature!
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's crazy.
And you just ended off on that. You were like, okay.
The Fly,
okay.
literally, that was the last movie of the night. I stayed up after that. And then like later in the morning, it must have been like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, I fell asleep on the couch. And then it was the only time, you know how like in movies, people wake up and they like say something? They're
Yeah.
like, whoa, or they're like, stop it or whatever, because they're dreaming. I forgot what I was dreaming about, but I woke up from a sleep. I was like, Titi. Literally. And I was like, what the fuck? It was so like uncontrollable.
Have you ever done the basketball dream?
No.
Where you're like, and you like do like a gunshot? You ain't never done that? I've done that like,
No.
I've kicked my mom's car, so I'll be in the car asleep. And I'm like in a dream. I be balling in my dreams, boy. I be balling. I done kicked. I'm right out my sleep.
Because you be asleep in
You
the
can
car.
imagine, I
You
be knocked out in the car. So you know my leg, I'm long. I was like,
fucking buzzer about to hit.
yo, I'll be in the zone in my
Oh my
dreams,
God.
boy.
Oh my god. Because I could just imagine Rob dead asleep. Fucking out of nowhere. Oh my
Jump shot.
god.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we watched The Fly. That was my first introduction to David Cronenberg. Never even fucking heard of the movie. Titi was like, we're watching this. And then we watched it, and I was fucking like, what the fuck is this? I was like 11 years old, 10 years old or some shit. And then that obviously anybody will remember that movie. And so for years I was just like, oh, The Fly, yeah, I seen it. Like it was one of those movies. And then it wasn't until like later, like after I got into horror, like as a genre, like when I saw Get Out, and I was just like super into movies, and I was like, I'm gonna get into movies or whatever. And then Cronenberg was one of those directors where I was just like, oh, he does his thing. Like he has like a aesthetic that he does with like every movie. And then I saw like Videodrome, and then I saw what else? And then later on I saw Crash on YouTube.
Yeah.
When I was like in middle school. I was like in 8th grade, or probably. I don't even know how old I was. Fucking, it's just like, it's all a blur. Trying to remember like when I watched the movie, but I remember seeing Crash on YouTube. And then I was like, what? And that's the thing about Cronenberg, is that every single time I see one of his movies for the first time, I hate it. I was like, what is it? Like, what the fuck? And then the thing about I remember mentioning these terms, this terminology on the podcast a long time ago, but like white elephant art and then termite art.
Yes.
Do you remember me talking about that a long time ago?
Yeah.
Where like Cronenberg is the king of termite art, because you watch it, and I watch it and I hate it. I'm like, what? Because I watched some of his movies for the first time this past week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I shivers, his first feature movie. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck? And then a day later, you're still thinking about it. And you're like, you know what? That's genius.
His shit sears into your your memory. Isn't one of those, am I saying it incorrectly? Like, I can see the fly mixed with the machine with nothing, essentially.
Yeah.
I can see that clear as day in my head. And I haven't seen that movie in years. And because you watch any of his movies, like the first time I seen Crash, I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I think about it for weeks and I'm like, that movie's, I need to rewatch it. That movie is genius. And that's what happened with every single one of his movies. Like, especially Cosmopolis, one of his newer movies. I think it came out in 2012 with Robert Pattinson. Hated. I was like, this movie is terrible. But I rewatched it and I was like, this is actually, and I feel like Rob would actually like Cosmopolis, because it's like, it's very philosophical. It's a lot of conversation. Looks like it.
With the
No, I'm saying it looks like something I would like just by the.
I think you said it looks like a lot of conversation.
But no, I mean it's Robert Pattinson, so yeah, but it does look like something I would love.
Because it's very it's very existential. Because it's based off a book, but it's like inspired by a poem that's about the rat becoming the unit of currency. And so it's very like kind of applicable with like especially the way it's aging, you know.
Yeah.
But it's such a like it's so all of his movies are so thought provoking. But that's why I think Rob would kind of like Cosmopolis, because it's very like damn,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And but there's a couple of like his newest movie or his most recent movie, Maps to the Stars, is I think it came out in 2017. That was like 2015. Came out like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen
2014.
haven't seen that one. But all of his movies are oh fuck, I just burped. All of his movies are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just stick with you. Fuck.
Just dying over there.
But like The Brood is such like a personal movie. Like it's so like touching almost. And you watch it and like, because during the writing of that movie, David Cronenberg was in a custody battle for his daughter.
Oh wow.
And he was writing The Brood, and you watch the movie and you're like, he's putting his balls on the table.
He's going through some shit right
Yeah.
now with this little kid, yeah.
And then you see it because it's all from his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy's perspective. And like his mom is like seeing his mom is the mom. I'm more black. I need that.
I'm gonna put it in because I hate you saying it.
I need the Jimmy Fallon SNL.
Uh-huh.
I usually just cut it out. Nobody ever hears it.
What was it? The Brood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she like every single like clone of the child is like, she sends it out to kill her dad. She sends it out to kill her mom. She sends it out to kill the therapist. She sends it out to kill her ex-husband. Like it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the marks that the mom has on her arm at the end of the, spoiler alert for a fucking 40-year-old movie. The daughter at the end of the movie has, it's like the ending of Us almost, where like you see the marks while they're driving off in the sunset. You see the marks of that the mom had on the daughter. And you realize that's like, oh, that's like generational trauma. Like whether it's from the situation that they were just in or just because of like hereditary reasons that this daughter's going to be affected by what her mother went through. And Cronenberg was like, that's my daughter, bitch.
Yeah. That's mine.
And then Scanners. You watched Scanners. What did you think? That's another crazy fucking movie.
Yeah.
Almost
First
like
of all, wasn't what I was expecting. Like
it's
at
known
all.
for the head explode scene.
But like you said, I think it was a lot deeper because even in the like at first of all, it gets right into it. Like we ain't playing. We're just getting right into
He's like, "Are you mad at me, Daddy?"
people fucking blowing shit up.
Yeah.
And then
for the mall, the opening scene.
yeah. And then
Is that? No, I'm thinking of The Brood.
yeah, no, I was like,
Where he's like, are you mad at me, Daddy? That's the opening scene of The Brood.
they start. I think
Scanners is in the mall.
getting to the conference part. I was like, that's like 15 minutes in.
Yeah, that's
like
beginning of the movie,
immediately.
the head exploding.
And just them talking about like who these people are.
I got a funny story about that, but keep going.
Like they're mutants and they're, these disgusting, weird people who should not be.
Yeah, they're like viewed as like trash. Like in
Yeah.
the opening scene, there's like, who the fuck is this guy looking at me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, go.
So,
get out of
and
here.
I was like, it tells a lot, just like a societal point of like having these
The
people,
prejudice is very
put out to the side.
Yeah. And with that head exploding scene, the funny thing about that trying to pull that off was wild because they tried to do like firecracker things like inside the prosthetic head, whatever, made out of like paper mache or whatever, but it just wasn't working. Right. And so then they tried to do like an air pressure thing to blow up the head to like just make it, but it just wasn't doing it fast enough, wasn't doing anything like the way they wanted to look. So literally a camera guy was like, I got a shotgun in my car. And so David Cronenberg was like, okay, everybody leave. Everybody get out of here. And like leave the set. It was just him and the camera guy. They sit behind the chair, like pretend like this is like the head. They're sitting behind the desk where the conference is. They fucking shoot the back of the head with the shotgun, and then that's how they get the head exploding scene. It's a real gun.
Yeah.
There's no way you're doing that today. That's against the law.
Yeah.
That's like all.
Dang, that makes so much sense now that I could literally like envision it in my mind of like just how it's exploding. And that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they have all like the red syrup and shit and all the flesh and everything. They fucking boom, fucking that shit goes.
They were deaf after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the camera
and then
guy was.
you just hear people like screaming and all that shit like from the people that were in the crowd. But it was
No, they did it when no one was there, and then they had to cut or add audio.
yeah,
edit everything.
that you can tell that they've added in the sounds and all of that.
Yeah.
That because that immediate is like you can tell something like was off for a couple seconds.
Yeah, because he's like.
Yeah, and then
And then like there's the quick cut to the guy his head explodes because it's right away. It doesn't show him and then his head explodes. It's like a cut to right when it explodes. And that shit, I was like, there's no way you're getting away with that.
You're talking about practical. That's lit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Hey, give me a real shotgun and show me
Right.
what
Blow
time
this
you
fucking
have.
I don't
thing
want to
his head
waste
off.
no fucking
I
time.
don't want to see no cheesy like them movies where like especially back in that day they would put like little explosives and
Like
it would just
mini
look
charges?
So, it looks so cheesy. Like,
Yeah.
When they would make like the worst ADR of
Yeah.
the explosion ever.
Oh my god. Or it's like you can tell it's a mini version of like what it's supposed to be.
Like a doll.
Yeah, you're like,
Just this
why is
doll.
it small?
Yeah.
Or like a little mini town and they blow up the car or whatever.
Yeah.
Like fucking Kablam.
They do
Yeah.
use
Remember
like
that show?
miniatures.
Kablam on Nickelodeon.
It
Is
sounds
it the one with
familiar.
the colors? Like it's colorful and it's like those superheroes?
That's one of the segments in the show. It's like they were action figures. And it was like Scuba Steve and fucking just definitely before your time.
It's like
You would have seen reruns for sure.
I have like the pictures in my head, like the
they
memories.
played reruns forever.
Okay.
The Nick at Night shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Scanners great. Scanners is a crazy movie. It's you watched the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost a superhero movie.
Yeah, that's why it kind of reminded me of like X-Men.
Yeah,
Kind of in a way.
The fight at the end between the two guys.
The two guys, they're essentially both scanners,
Yeah.
but one's in like the underground.
Yeah.
type.
So one is like trying to rule the world, and then the other one is like working for like a corporation who's trying to stop them from taking over the world. And there's like a whole thing, and then obviously the exploitation of like corporate syndicates and shit like that. The whole
It was a whole thing.
underbelly of like the message.
Yeah.
news and shit. But
It was Professor X and fucking Magneto.
wasn't the old guy Professor X?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I was like, this is an X-Men movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a great fucking movie though.
It was good.
And because the bad guy was basically Magneto.
It's a good movie if you want to get into Cronenberg movies.
Yeah, that's a good intro.
Yeah. Because it's not like too out of.
It looks disgusting just from this picture on here. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
Veins
No, the
popping
veins
out on
and
his
shit. That's
face.
towards the end. Yeah.
It looks disgusting.
You notice that in the beginning when they do the
The main guy, the actor,
mm-hmm.
terrible. He's such
I didn't like him. I like
the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy.
quote unquote bad guy.
He was good. The other dude, when they're doing the doctors like talking to him and interviewing him, I was like, I hate him already. I don't like him
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be like monotone and like I don't know what's going on and
Yeah.
why are you saying
I
scanner
hated
and like
him. I hated him so much. He's the only bad part of that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I did not like him in that movie at all. I was like, they should have got a different fucking actor, because that's the only part that pissed me off. Like this part of this movie would be fucking amazing
yeah.
but he fucking ruined the whole thing.
Now that I think about it, I'm thinking like it could have been a lot better.
That could have been anybody.
It could have been a lot better.
Yeah, but yeah, Scanners, and then he made Videodrome right after
I
that.
think so.
And then that movie really, that's when you're like, I want to see like some weird shit.
Yeah, that
From
was
Cronenberg.
Videodrome.
Like, I mean, because like that's when you're like past Scanners and The Fly. Like, it's good to go like Scanners, The Fly, maybe The Brood, but then when you want to see like some peak level weirdness, like go Videodrome, because that's Rick Baker, the god of makeup effects. He did like Star Wars, he did Planet of the Apes, he did Michael Jackson Thriller makeup. Rick Baker did everything makeup. And he's retired now, but he did Videodrome, and the shit and the effects in Videodrome are pretty fucking wild. It's so weird. And then and when you watch, but it's not as, I don't want to say it's so weird, because when you watch, like I was telling you on the phone earlier this week, but it's like when you get into 90s Cronenberg, that's when you're just like, what the fuck? Because like Crash is my favorite.
Yeah, and also like just how weird it gets. Like Crash.
With Crash, yeah, it's weird.
The concept alone is like, I get it.
I want to read the book so bad.
I'm sure it would give a lot more insight.
What's his name come out next week?
Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, his newest one. I already got my tickets.
I was gonna say Nate is already. He's there.
There was a Kane's walkout.
Or no, he said he was predicting walkouts. But there was none. Actually, he was like, I'm gonna show Crimes of the Future at Cannes Film Festival.
It said some viewers walked out at his Cannes premiere, calling the film beautiful. Oh, that's misleading.
Maybe not walked out during the movie.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, are they saying they walked out because it was just so great?
Because usually walk out in a film festival means you walked out in the middle of the movie.
That's a good thing?
Walking out in the middle of the movie? No. Because when he premiered Crash at Cannes,
yeah,
people were like,
nah.
The fuck is this?
Nah.
Because Cannes.
Oh yeah, they said this Crimes of the Future, he's bringing it all the way back. So
Yeah,
people walked out
because this is his first horror movie in over 20 years.
Wow, yeah, they're like, I'm reading this article. They're like, people are like, if people walking out, that means I definitely want to see it now.
Yeah, it's and Viggo Morgenstein is in it.
Viggo Morgenstein.
And I'm all for it. All for it. But what I was saying, now when you get into Crash, when you get to that level of Cronenberg, that means you're a Cronenberg fan. You have to be a Cronenberg fan to watch Crash, have the open-mindedness for it, and be like,
and then continue
and keep going. Because I had the Criterion Blu-ray, because that's not available on streaming anywhere.
No.
And so I bought it on the Criterion Blu-ray, watched it, and I was like, I love it, because it's the first time I seen it on YouTube in like this, not even high definition, it was the standard definition on YouTube, and it was like squeezed, and like I just watched it. I was like, fucking, I don't know how old, and then I bought the Criterion, and you see the 4K transfer, and you're like, oh my god, and you see him.
No.
You see, what's his name, James Spader, fuck a girl's leg wound.
No. Just.
And you're like.
Fucking disgusting.
Like a
Almost. But on the thigh.
Oh. In real wound.
The back of the thigh right here.
And it's open?
And he's like, come here, girl.
Yeah.
It's like sewed. Stitched.
And she lets him do it?
Yeah. They're omnisexual. That's like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they say. They're omnisexual and they get off on car crashes.
Car crash victims, yeah.
Which, again, wild
The
ass concept.
Last scene of the movie, he fucking bangs his car into his wife's car, goes on to the fucking side of the highway, and he's like, oh fuck, looking in the mirror and shit, pulls over, walks down, his girl's fucking like that, like just got fucked up by a car crash, and he lays down with her, He's like, all right, let's get it on. And they start fucking. End of movie.
Wow, dude.
It's wild. That shit's wild.
That's wild.
And then like
doesn't someone have like broken ribs or something?
In one of the guys
Yeah.
that introduces him, he's like the leader of their cult.
Mm-hmm.
He's like obsessed with like James Dean because he died in a car crash.
Oh.
And they reenact the James Dean car crash with the same like car that like James Dean was driving, and his driver was or he was driving the car, and he had like his mechanic or some shit was next to him, and then some college student was the one that he ran into, so they recreated, and they fucking, and he's just like, and he has a microphone, he's talking to a crowd of people, and he's like, so we're gonna reenact and we're gonna go right now, and then they fucking do it and they crash, and he's like fucking still talking, and they go inside, and he's like, so yeah, this is what we do, and then it's to fucking have sex and shit.
Admittedly, so I as a man, we don't care. We can be missing
Limbs.
We could miss all of our limbs, and we will find a way to fuck.
Yeah.
If my penis still works, I will be having sex.
And that's the thing about
That's
thing
how
about
Zoe's
this.
here. Literally had hernia surgery.
I did. I wasn't supposed to be having sex at all.
You were supposed to be doing
I
literally
could have
nothing.
really hurt myself.
This movie is about James Spader. James Spader is like an observer. Because he's quiet in the movie, and he's like observing, but he's also like participating. So he's like you kind of like are with him, kind of like, you know how in Sicario you're seeing Emily Blunt. She's like, you guys are fucked up. That's like James Spader in this movie, but he's also doing it, like going deep in the rabbit hole of what they're doing. But he's also like observing everything, and it's just a wild fucking movie. It's so wild. And I think the reason why I love it so much is because, one, it's like fearless. It's Cronenberg, just like, fuck what any of you guys think about what I'm doing, if it's weird or whatever. He's like, I'm trying to tell this like crazy story about a controversial book that came out in like the 70s, and he's like really just going for it, and like without giving a fuck about like people hating it. And I bought like a few weeks ago, like maybe a month or two ago, the NC-17 DVD, and that's the one I watched recently, was the NC-17 rated version.
How was that one?
And I forgot, I don't remember the differences, but like the only thing in my mind, what I'm remembering, maybe the leg fucking scene is in the NC-17.
That is the part that I'm stuck on this entire time you've been talking about. I've been almost physically ill.
Like a fucking wound?
Yeah, it's like a sewn. It's like a sewn wound, like a stitched wound.
How much stitched for him to be able to put something in there?
Probably from like here to here.
But it's not all the way stitched up?
No.
That's wild, B.
Yeah.
How do you even find out something like that? Like, I'm into this.
It's wild.
Oh,
That is true. It is true to be
people.
like, I'm into this. This is my thing.
And the part that fucks you up, you're like, there's like this sect of people out there that are really into
and that's
this.
That's what
That's
he's
what
saying.
this movie is about.
He's like, there are these people out there, and there's these people that get caught up in that shit.
Yeah.
And then they just get sucked into just going with whatever these people are doing.
Yeah.
Let's just give ourselves
It's like
to bust a nut.
This movie is like a really horny Matrix, where he's just going deep down. He's the whole time he's like, what the fuck? But he's also participating and going down the rabbit hole. But instead of like an alternate reality, it's having sex with people while getting in a car crash. Because they're like going slow, because there's a car crash on the freeway and they're like going slow. He's like, slow down. And he's fucking like taking pictures of the car crash. And he's like, you know what, fuck it. And he hops out, goes on the car crash scene of like the EMTs there, firefighters there. And he's like taking pictures of the bodies and shit or whatever. And then they go later and they like recreate what just they saw. It's wild.
Niggas being just some freaky shit. That's wild. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah.
Like what?
Definitely his
Yeah.
weirdest movie.
Has to be. It sounds like it. The Fly was fucking weird, man.
The Fly was gross, but this is
I like
like
the concept of The Fly, like gene splicing and stuff.
yeah, The Fly changed everything. Because David Cronenberg does more sci-fi movies, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
A lot of these sound sci-fi-ish more
Yeah.
than they do horror.
This was like
You're
a,
dealing with stuff. Horror can be based in some type of reality
Yeah.
usually, but
But
these
this is
are
all
like
sci-fi.
way.
It all mostly has to do with science.
You're talking about telekinesis and fucking all and
Videodrome.
and seeing the future and the past and stuff. Like, yeah, these are way outside of like horror.
Yeah.
that, and then Crash was more. There's a mosquito in here. Crash was more like psychological, and like has that. What is that? I don't know what you're gonna call it. Nature versus nurture type of thing.
Yeah. Like it's like Freudian almost.
Yeah. Like how are you just like this, or do you get introduced to it and then
Yeah.
you just start liking
Which is
it?
funny because Cronenberg did make. I haven't seen it. I have it on Blu-ray. I've been wanting to watch it with Viggo Mortensen, Michael Fassbender, and Keira Knightley. It's about Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. He made like a movie about them both, and I don't know who plays who, but Viggo Mortensen plays Carl Jung, I think. Michael Fassbender plays Sigmund Freud, or the vice versa. I forgot. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to watch it because his movies are very philosophical and thought provoking.
Oh yeah, it's called a dangerous method.
Yeah. No, I saw it fly away.
Yeah, everybody keeps seeing it, and it's like, you gotta get it, man. While you can.
But Crimes of the Future comes out June 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it June 2nd.
Got to. I want to see that. It looks like a great. They said the reason why a lot of people walked out was in the first 5 minutes. They said it's just straight gore the first 5 minutes.
I'm there.
Or like,
It's about like organ selling or organ performance.
oof.
Yeah, the evolution of like the human body.
Yeah.
God, I'm so happy.
I don't even like know what that means.
I'm gonna have to pop some extra anti-anxiety pills, so I'm not in that point about to pass out. And I'll be
Yeah,
like,
for
ugh.
you.
Did you get that?
I feel like I did. Did you see it disappear?
I don't see it now.
I know. I saw it like disappear.
But I'm gonna go see Crimes of the Future next week. Since we're where are we at?
We had an hour 25.
This feels like such a long podcast. I
This
feel
was pretty long. I mean, an hour and a half.
what was I saying?
Next
there
week.
it is.
I like how we were all like, we're ready.
Get it? Oh, you almost said you didn't get it. It's already there.
Oh my god, I thought one handed.
No, you didn't.
Where'd it go?
Hey man, I know y'all listening to mosquitoes are serious. Fuck y'all. We gotta kill that.
Yeah, fuck this.
It be killing you at night.
Next week Jurassic Park comes out.
Oh, those previews actually give me more and more hype every time.
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
previews during Top Gun, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
The fucking, you know the scene I'm terrified of, the ocean one.
Yeah.
You know, one
Yeah.
of my biggest fears is like if somebody ever just like torture you, time travel me and drop me in the ocean 400 million years ago.
Oh my god, that's your worst. I already know.
Oh,
Knowing you, that's your worst nightmare.
like the thought of it makes me want to vomit. Like they're like, I'm gonna torture you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop you in the prehistoric ocean. Blink. There you go.
Nope.
But
Oh, hit the
Jurassic-
ocean now.
I want to say it goes Crimes of the Future is coming out, then Jurassic Park, and then Lightyear.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see that.
Lightyear's coming out, so that'll be like our Pixar episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually do that with the kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see what's coming soon. Yeah, Jurassic Park, and then the 17th Lightyear comes out. It's not until July 8th that Thor: Love and Thunder comes out. I'm so excited to see that.
I'm ready to see Nope. Them previews
Yeah.
for Nope. It's the same preview every time.
But every time you're like,
Those nighttime shots, it's like,
Really
how
wild.
do he add in moonlight?
Right,
Because that
right.
shit is
It's clear.
clear as
Clear.
night. Fuck.
Yeah.
That thing is clear, boy. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
to
it
see
looks so
Daniel
good.
Kaluuya
at night.
in the middle of the mountains in California, there's no light out there. at all.
Yeah, that's definitely artificial.
It's like going outside of Phoenix in the middle of the night. You will be in pitch black dark, period. There's no lights outside of Phoenix.
After that movie, The Black Phone. Have you guys heard about that? Yeah, with Ethan Hawke, he's like wearing the mask.
Oh, wasn't that new Brad Pitt movie coming out?
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
In August 5th. They pushed it back.
They got Paperboy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bunny.
Oh, Buddy.
Bad Bunny, baby.
I keep thinking that was Cleo Thomas. Every time he show up in the screen, Zero.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, next week. So are we doing Jurassic Park? Like, what are we doing?
I have to, I guess. Because I mean, if we see Top Gun, because obviously we're in the season of remakes or sequels at least.
Yeah.
They come. It comes every. What does it come every 2 years or so? We get a bunch of spinoffs and stuff and sequels.
Yeah.
A remake.
When's Hobbs and Shaw 2 coming out? I need that to happen.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Because I'm pretty sure Ryan, what's his name, is the bad guy. Nobody wants to talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
There's thoughts that oh, never mind. We'll say that off air.
All right. So we're good.
Yeah.
Cronenberg. I'll let you guys know what I think. Comes the future. If you guys see it, let me know.
I gotta see it.
Cause this shit is gonna be weird.
I want to see why people walked out. I really want to see that.
Oh, and that's another thing about Cannes. Speaking of Cannes, there's so many movies that because today is the last day.
Today's the last day. Yeah. It's been a couple weeks.
Cannes Film Festival. I have like a bunch of movies, that I had saved that I knew were coming out this year. And then they were giving out awards, and like some of the movies that I was like anticipating actually like won some awards. And did you see nothing has to do with Cannes, but The Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans?
Mm-mm.
It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out on Netflix.
By the Russo brothers. It's supposed to be like this crime movie with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and it says when the CIA's top asset, his identity known to no one, uncovers agency secrets, he triggers a global hunt by assassins set loose by his ex-colleague.
You said it's Chris Evans and who?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Chris Evans, I just watched The Losers last night. I was like, you pretty much been Captain America the whole...
I think you got
it. No.
It's right here. Oh, you injured it. That shit's going down.
This shit's dead.
You got it. I saw you got it with your fingertips.
Yeah, I was like, I know I got some of it. I think I just knocked the wing off my fingers.
But there's like a whole lot of movies, foreign movies that I'm excited to see. Oh, I mentioned that I didn't even get to.
It's still alive.
Did you get it?
It's right
No.
there. Right there. It's right there. You got it.
No, I didn't. I keep hitting it against the wall and it's not dead.
Oh, I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
But did you like get it?
I got it. It fell. Somewhere right there.
Right.
I guess we'll see.
Park Chan-wook. Didn't get to talk about
Wait,
this
Jonathan.
because Rob said that. Literally why I wasn't able to talk about it.
Oh
I sat here and I thought about whether I should say it or not. And I was like, I see Nate's face. I have to say
I
it.
was
If
like,
I'm staring at Nate, I gotta
Wei
say
Jung-jen.
it.
Wei Jung-jen. But because I was talking about The Handmaiden and the Amazon original movie, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Old Boy, one of the best action movies ever. That one shot, one take of the hammer fight scene at the end was crazy. Park Chan-wook coming out with a new movie called Decision to Leave. And it had like a fucking 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's just like a lot of cool ass movies coming out with a lot of cool directors. Like what's his name? David Fincher, the guy who made Fight Club and Seven, Social Network, Gone Girl.
Those are all bangers.
So David Fincher, I'll just name off his filmography: Fight Club, Gone Girl, Social Network, Seven, Zodiac, Benjamin Button, Mank, The Game, Panic Room.
Bangers.
He hasn't had one
Bangers.
slump. People sleep on Panic Room, and that's why Kristen Stewart
Panic
is famous
Room. Yeah.
for why she
Yep.
is. She played the fuck out of that
Yep.
role in that movie.
So yeah, David Fincher's coming out with a
And she
movie
wasn't dumb.
called.
She wasn't a little bitch. That's probably why I like her.
David Fincher's coming out with a movie called The Killer, which you know we already
It's
knew.
exciting. Yeah.
A man solitary and cold, methodical and unencumbered by scruples or regrets, the killer waits in the shadows, watching for his next target. And yet, the longer he waits, the more he thinks he's losing his mind, if not his cool. A brutal, bloody, and stylish noir story of a professional assassin lost in a world without a moral compass. This is a case study of a man alone, armed to the teeth, and slowly losing his mind. There's a movie by James Salas called The Killer is Dying, and I read it because the book takes place in Phoenix. And I think the camera is slanted. But it's
It
what
looks like it.
I think we're fine though.
Yeah, it looks like it, but I'm pretty sure it's like straight.
There's a book called The Killer is Dying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the author wrote the book Drive that Ryan Gosling was in the movie.
Yeah.
And so James Salas, I believe is his name, made a movie wrote a book called The Killer is Dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it, and this sounds like
Sounds like the
one of the
book.
characters in the book, yeah. But I'm sure it's not based off of it, but because no one is gonna make a movie in Phoenix except for me. Or except for fucking Denis Villeneuve. We just watched Sicario. That's my favorite movie of all time. It's Sicario. It's hands down.
It's a super banger.
It's a good movie.
It's so fucking good. I was speechless because I wanted to rewatch it because I was like, because this was like a couple weeks ago. I was like, what are some movies about imposter syndrome? And I was like, I should rewatch Sicario and see how that applies.
It's interesting.
And I was like, I want to rewatch it. And I was like, that kind of is. Towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say towards the end, for sure.
She definitely is. And so, but I rewatched it, and I was like, this movie is perfect. I mean, all of Denis Villeneuve's movies. He has bangers on bangers on bangers.
But Sicario hit.
Sicario is so real.
Yeah, especially for
Those
us.
cartel
for sure.
houses in Chandler, like they're all over the place.
They're
But
everywhere.
But yeah, I don't know. We rewatched Sicario, and that's right now my favorite movie of all time. It's
For
so
now.
fucking good. I just love it because, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna end on that. Go watch Sicario. Just rewatch it if you see it because for the people listening, it's so great.
I think most of our listeners have seen.
It's so fucking good. But anyways, that's episode 61. Next week we're gonna be talking about maybe Jurassic Park, or it might just be a chill episode. Who knows?
I felt it. I'm to get sleepy, so
where are we at now? Like
I think we
140?
can do.
Yeah,
I think we
140,
can do Jurassic
135.
Park because they're gonna introduce all the.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, they're gonna introduce all of those
Everybody.
Everybody's
older
gonna be back.
characters
Jeff
back
Goldblum.
in Jeff Goldblum.
Sex
This is
symbol.
you know, I'm glad they're doing what I thought they were going to do and put dinosaurs with feathers, which is way scarier than like.
Yeah.
It's way scarier.
They're bringing
to see.
all kinds of shit in.
I took Amanda to this thing where we had where's that fuck did we go? My Christmas party. We went to the museum downtown. And they
Arizona
had-
Center?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the Science
yeah.
Center?
Yeah.
My dad, I was just reminding my dad of this. I remember when I was little, my dad brought me to the Science Center and or like the Arizona Center thing, and was like, you have the choice. My dad told me, he was like, you have the choice between the Titanic Museum or the Dinosaur Museum. And I was like, take me to the Titanic. And we just went through like this museum, seeing like the underground, all the fucking relics and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was so crazy.
So cool.
And then
You get to like touch the iceberg and
that
shit.
shit was wild. But I remember we were biggest boat in the world.
Nobody wants to say it. Dumbasses, you stupid.
But
they showed T-Rex with feathers at the Arizona Center.
That's
So they
pretty dope.
had the most complete T-Rex skeleton that
display.
exists in the
Yeah.
world.
Dinosaurs still exist.
The tail is 15 feet long from bottom of tail to tip.
Alligators, dinosaurs. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
let's wrap this up.
All right, yeah, bye.
Bye, guys.